Hi, welcome to the Bowie Business Journal. I'm your host, Pauline Markward, with the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with my guest, Ashley. Welcome, Ashley. How are you today? And I'm going to let you say your last name.
Armentrout.
Well, welcome. And you work for the city, and tell me a little bit about that.
I am the sustainability planner for the city, so I'm in the planning department and I work on the green programs.
Okay, and what is the green program?
So any of the programs in the city that we offer that are environmentally sustainable practices, such as the Green Bowie businesses, but that includes more like the tree rebate programs and energy audits, and I also liaise the green team, which is a group of community volunteers that work on green practices throughout the city.
Okay, let's talk about green businesses. I know the Chamber just got their green business certification, so thank you for helping us with that. And there's Maryland Green and there's Bowie Green. And do you want to talk about the Maryland Green at all and then go into how that supports the Bowie Green?
Okay, so our criteria for the city are the same as for the state. So I could go into those criteria if you want. They're
Please do.
Pretty simple.
And how easy it is to meet or how difficult it is to meet.
Okay.
Because we would like to have more green businesses in Bowie. How many do we have right now do you know?
We have 7.
7. Out of how many businesses, Bowie-based businesses? 1,500?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, that's not very many.
We have a large gap to fill
Yes.
in there.
Well, hopefully this show will help.
Yeah, so it's very easy. You can just go onto the Maryland Green Registry website, and the criteria are simple. You have to just be a business in Maryland and then for Bowie in the city. And you have to showcase on the application that you do 5 sustainable or environmentally friendly practices. And there are a ton to pick from. They're about 20 to 25, and as long as you can show that you do 5. And these are things like carpooling, electric fleet vehicles, recycling, waste reduction, if you have a LEED certified building, so you can choose any of the 5 that apply to your specific business.
Okay, let's clarify. What is a LEED certified building?
LEED certified building, it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. So it's just a number of ways that a building can be green, and there are different certification levels for that as well. City Hall is LEED Gold. There's platinum above that, and then there's gold, and then there's silver. And our Parks and Rec building is silver. So it's different criteria that make you a LEED building, and that's not necessary to be a Maryland or Bowie green business, but it just is something you can check on your application if your company does have that. And then the other criteria is that at least one of the 5 that you check off has to be something measurable. So maybe it's the amount of light bulbs that you switched out for LED. If you can calculate, say you have solar, if you can calculate that exact savings so that you can measure it. So those are pretty simple criteria to become a Maryland certified under the Maryland Green Registry. And then if you are within the city, you have the option to become a Bowie green business.
How long does it take once your certification process starts?
It's very simple. The turnaround for the state program is within a week, and I help applicants fill out and perfect their applications, and then once they're accepted, their profile is put on the Maryland Registry webpage, and you're immediately contacted by me to become a Green Bowie business. And that in itself is pretty simple also. I just, on the next available day, bring you your paperwork and your window decal, and I immediately start tweeting and advertising that you are now green certified. So it could be about a week.
Okay, stop by the Chamber office. We both have our Maryland certification and our Bowie certification up on our door, so we're very proud of that. Well, you did mention trees, and I noticed over at Acorn Hill Park that is slowly being reforested, or it appears to be. Is that what you're calling it, reforestation, or?
Yeah, and they don't necessarily have a reforestation project there, but there is a Tree City USA sign at Acorn Hill, and it is a nice spot to showcase our tree canopy in the city, which we have about a 40% tree canopy right now, and I believe the city's goal is 45%.
Okay. Ashley, the city has a tree rebate program. How does that work? And what tree are you getting? Or do you get a selection?
Sure, you get a selection. If you go to the Green Bowie webpage, you can find online the 11 approved species. There are four, I believe 4 smaller species and 7 larger, maybe vice versa. But if you go and you purchase one of these and you have proof of your purchase and you plant it on your property and take a picture of that, you turn it in, you are eligible for a rebate.
Okay.
It's a smaller rebate for the smaller trees, a larger rebate for the larger trees, and again, there are only a few approved species, but we have had, I believe, 4 people this fiscal year submit their application and receive rebates from us.
Okay. You said there were 4 programs that sustainability is involved with.
Tree rebates. We also have the energy audit program, which is a free program for residents to have their home audited by a company, sub-company of BG&E. And this also, the application for this can also be found on the Green Bowie webpage. But if you apply for it, I get the application and I reach out to one of the contract companies and they contact you directly as a homeowner, and they come out and they schedule and come out and they do an audit of your home. And with this audit, they just tell you what can be done to improve your energy efficiency. None of it is mandatory. Some of the upgrades, if they're small enough, they can do on the spot. The rest, they give you sort of an inventory report of what you can do as a homeowner.
Okay.
And that's free.
Oh, I was going to ask, is there a fee associated with that?
No.
Okay, well, that's good. How did you get involved with the Green program? Are you from Bowie or are you a transfer?
I'm from Bowie. I was born in Laurel, but I've lived in Bowie since I was 5. But I did go to grad school in Miami, but I came back and I started working as a contractor for the EPA in DC, and as of last August, found employment with the city of Bowie.
Nice. So it's good to be home.
It is. It's really nice.
Yes. Now, anybody that says they're from Bowie, I have to ask what section.
The Y section.
Oh, okay. That's fun. And what is your master's in?
Marine science.
Okay.
Marine affairs and policy. And my undergraduate was in anthropology and English. So it's kind of all over the place.
Ashley, if I'm working for a company that for whatever reason can't be green, what can I do as an employee to be, I guess, a better friend to the environment?
There are a number of things you can do on an individual level. A lot of them can come from this application. You can look at the application to get ideas. You can reduce your own consumption. You can, even things as simple as using a piece of paper till it's completely full before you get another piece of paper. You can search for your own recyclable or recycled products. You can not use plastic bags or plastic water bottles. You could get a reusable water bottle. You can turn off lights, run water less. All of those things, they are minor on an individual level, and it is definitely better when combined with other people trying, but every little bit counts, and especially when a company takes on that challenge, they really can make a larger difference. And if you as an individual want to learn how to make your company more sustainable, I can come out and go through the checklist and see, okay, you have 2 things here, this is what you would need to do in order to be able to have all 5 and be registered as green. So you don't have to be completely green yet to start the process with me and to find out new ways to be more sustainable.
Okay, so I had a friend ask me to make sure that I asked you, what do you do with straws? I know but I use straws. I don't like to get my lipstick all over the glass, and so what do you do with them?
It's one of those things that straws are, they are a convenience. It is so convenient to not mess up your lipstick and to not, if you're drinking coffee or maybe you drink apple cider vinegar and water like me and you don't want to hurt your teeth, straws are great. I have invested in reusable straws or opt to most of the time not use them if I'm going out. I also have a reusable water bottle, and so I don't mind if I get my lip stuff on it, but straws, it's unavoidable, especially when you go out, and it's really just being cognizant of the effect that they do have on the environment. Something like 500 million are used per day.
Oh my gosh.
And they aren't recyclable. And so a majority will just go to landfill, but a large portion will also end up in the water. So some businesses, I know, and more beach towns and things, but they have taken a stand where they won't give a straw unless a constituent asks for it. So those are sort of both sides of it. You know, you have to have them available because they are something that we need, but if people maybe reduced at times, they could help.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever go back to the paper straws. When I was a kid in the 70s, they had the paper straws. They only worked for like 3 sips of your drink. And I'll admit, today I've already gone through 2 straws. So
I actually was just given paper straws earlier this week by a member of the green team, and they're pretty reinforced and strong. But you're right, they don't last the way your typical hard plastic would last.
yeah, I guess pick it up. Last month, Youth Leadership Bowie came out to City Hall, and we had a little meeting with you, which was just fascinating for them. And you had these pencils made out of blue jeans. Could you go into more detail? I tried to explain to my son, and he's like, I don't get it, so please.
Somehow, some company took blue jeans and denim. I don't know actually if it was jean pants or what type, but it was denim, and they process that along with the other materials for the pencils and make pencils. So then you have pencils that are made out of recycled material. Similar to, I don't know if I told the students that day, but I have told other people this. I have a pair of yoga pants that include 6 plastic water bottles.
Yes, you did tell us. That was fascinating.
It's pretty neat how they can do that. And that's the kind of thing that just keeps those things out of the landfill and keeps them out of seeping into the ground or maybe blowing off into your neighborhood or blowing off into the ocean where it harms ocean life. So it is neat how they can do things like that.
Okay. Do you have any business ideas for the young people who are coming up on that idea of recycling? What is the next big thing? I don't think there's enough roofs that are, environmentally friendly. How do you get a structure to support that weight, I guess, is one, but you mentioned the yoga pants. Just what can we do?
I think it's important that people find the one thing that resonates with them. And I mean, some people will go and just find ways to be green and environmentally sustainable and responsible across the board. For some people, that's not even sustainable for their lifestyle. It's important to find the thing that works for you. So if you are working for a company and you want to make sure that you are buying recycled products, or you are, utilizing green purchasing, and you're recycling all that you can because of the amount of trees it takes and things like that, then that would be the way to go. If you find that plastic is your thing, maybe reducing your plastic use. If you want solar and you want to make that investment, it would be, it's very easy to get involved in local solar co-ops in the whole state. We had a Bowie one a few years ago that went really well. So you can get involved in a co-op and things like that to reduce the cost. But I think it's important to find what is the most important environmental goal to you and go after that one, because then you can really make a difference in that one instead of, sort of clawing at the edges of everything.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that you would like us to know about Bowie Green and just how to be better to the environment, smaller carbon footprint?
Well, I think that there are a lot of businesses that don't know that this exists, that the first step would be for businesses and companies in Bowie to contact me and let me help them fill out the Maryland Green Registry application, get that through, and then become Green Bowie certified. And in that process, I can teach them things, they can teach me things, we can work together to see what practices will work best for their business and get them certified. And in doing that, you also have exposure through our social media. So we tweet it out, I typically take pictures, I put it in the Green Bowie newsletter, which is now bi-monthly. So every other month, our give or take 1,000 subscribers will see who is now Green Bowie certified. So, and also, I haven't mentioned this to you yet. This coming November is going to be the first ever Veterans Day 5K sponsored by the city.
Oh, because I'm a runner. This is good.
But it started out as a Green Bowie initiative through the Green Team. And so, but myself and another coworker kind of took it on, wanted it to be a city-sponsored event. But we're keeping that green angle. And so everyone who is a Green Bowie business is invited to come and have a table. So all the participants in the 5K will see, you know, the Chambers table. We're going to have Radio 1 there, the veterans groups there, all the civic groups, the cops. So people, you will have, you know, free advertising for your business at this event with other like-minded people, because there will be a green draw to this event. And there will be, we want to reach out to everyone in the community, it being a Veterans Day 5K. But I think it's really good advertising, and so you'll have that give and take through the city. We can help you, you can help us, you can participate if you want, or just have a table. So I would just ask that as many businesses in the city would like to come forward and let me help you become a Green Bowie business.
Wonderful. And I have another question about, because you mentioned the race in November, but the Green Team, do they have an event in April normally?
Yes, the Green Team, which I sort of touched on before, is the group of residents who volunteer.
Yeah, let's go a little bit more in depth in that, because I know we have Green Bowie, but not everybody even knows about the Green Citizens.
Yeah. Well, so the citywide programs I run as the staff liaison, but the volunteer events they run, and they are an official group. So while Green Bowie Business is run by me, they do help advertise, and they do help businesses. They sort of link us together. But in general, the Green Team, yes, they're a group of volunteers, and they're involved in the community in a lot of different ways. There's a Green Schools subgroup, and they work on getting all the schools Green School certified. Similar program. It's a state program that we're helping to get them certified. There's an outreach group, a natural resources group, where we do a lot of planting and weeding and things that students can learn student service learning hours through. And then there's a food, health, and wellness group and an energy group. So there's all these little subgroups, but the 12 of them make up the Green Team. And actually, their meetings are the third Monday of every month at City Hall at 7 p.m. And it's open to the public if anyone is interested in learning more.
You mentioned food, and I love food, but also Bowie has, and I just found out about this, a Bowie compost where they pick up.
Yes.
Give me more details, because I just put it in a corner of my backyard for a compost pile, but I'd really prefer to get it out of my yard.
Yes, and this program is perfect for that. So this is strictly a food waste program. So how it works is, say during the week you're chopping onions and peppers and you're making a stir fry or something, and you have those scrap pieces, you can take and you can put them in your little bin that is provided to you. You can put eggshells, coffee grounds, there's a number of things, and that's all provided in the kit that we give you. But so then as your bag gets full, you just tie it up and you put it outside in a larger bin that we give you, and that's the bin that you put on your curb for pickup. And Public Works comes every Wednesday morning, and they pick up all of the bags, and they bring them to the county facility where it's turned into compost. And you can then buy that compost back. So it's really full circle, it's zero waste essentially. And this is free for residents on Racetrack Road. It's a limited program right now because it is intensive for Public Works, and they do have to take it all the way down to the county facility. But if you live in the I section, Bel Air Towns, V section,
I'm
Y
in Bel Air
section.
Towns. I had no idea it existed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y section, O section, and both Saddlebrooks. You can also fill out this application online, or just call me and I can get you set up. I'll bring you both bins, 2 starter rolls of bags, and the sheet with all the information. And there were about 60 or 70 people when I started 6 months ago, and now we have 140, I believe. And our goal is between 200 and 250 for right now. So we have room for people to join. And yeah, like you said, you can just put your scraps and then you just put them out, and you don't have to worry about doing anything in your backyard.
I promise you I'll do it. And Ashley knows that as she fills out the paperwork, I'm on board. Oh, okay. You mentioned vegetables, though. No meat products, or can you put?
Now, I can't remember off the top of my head because every program's different and I don't even eat meat, so I don't know to look out for it. But I think that in ours, you can use meat. You can put your meat in bone scraps. Yeah, so I can double check on that for you, and it's provided on the sheet. But I'm pretty sure it's actually all food scraps and a little bit more like wet paper towels and stuff like that that biodegrades really easily.
Oh, gosh, that's wonderful. My son, I threw some, recyclable into the trash can, and he opened it up and to put something else in there, and he goes, I just don't feel good about this.
Like, Mom?
Like, you can take it out. I'm sorry, we make mistakes. But that is the difference between somebody born in 1970 and somebody born in 2000, is that he is constantly conscious of what goes into the trash, where I'm like, I got the wrong bin, you know, and forgive me, no hate mail.
It's understandable.
But I'm trying to get better, and actually I am not quite too bad about it.
And you are the executive director of a Green Bowie business.
Absolutely.
So you made strides.
And what I love is that this building around back has all of the recycling bins. They make it so easy for us to recycle here. They really do.
And
well, Bowie makes it easy to recycle.
They really do. They really do. And our public works is amazing. The guys that work there they're on top of it. And you guys just recently got the solar array up on the roof. I went up there a couple weeks ago and took pictures.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Nice. We need to advertise things like that more in Bowie, you know, that we're doing it. Ribbon cutting. I like ribbon cutting, so if anybody wants to have one, call me. Ashley, gosh, that sounds so harsh when I said it like that. Ashley! So one of the things that we struggled with at the Chamber was our environmental policy statement. Help us understand that it's really not that difficult once you start writing it and understand what the state of Maryland is looking for and what Bowie is looking for.
Yeah.
So help us out here. It's not so intimidating.
Well, here they just say that you have to have an environmental policy statement, and they do link, so I don't have other examples here, but they do link to policy, sample policies and tips on the website, but I do have yours here, and yours was amazing, so I'll just read it. At the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce, we believe that economic growth and environmental progress are not mutually exclusive goals. They are two goals that can be coupled together to improve the efficiency of all our processes, all whilst managing the environmental effects and aspects of our operations. In an effort to stand by this belief, we have formulated our own environmental policy statement, which forms the foundation of environmental improvements made by the Chamber. The benefits of an environmental policy are as follows, but are not limited to: helping stay updated with environmental law, improving information for employees, improving cost control, conserving energy, improving monitoring of environmental impacts, and improving efficiency within the office.
And we're really trying to adhere to that.
Yeah.
And again,
that's great.
The Bowie makes it easy because we do have all the recycling. And
yeah, you guys have a great one. You guys have a great team working all the time to see what you guys can do, working on new green initiatives. So it's great.
And actually, one of the simple things we did was put a timer on our copying machine that it automatically turns down, it shuts down. And it's nice because if we need it again, we just walk over, push the button, and it warms back up. But instead of letting it run for 8 hours on its constant warming cycle, approximately every 2 hours, it shuts itself down. And
that's great.
Yeah. And if ever we push print from the computer, it will print, but it's if you just want a photocopy, so it adds another minute to our day. It's not like I'm not going to be there anyway.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and we try to do more emailing than anything else, but sometimes we have to snail mail. Some people like that, to actually have things in their hands.
Us too, but that's one of the biggest changes companies can make is trying to get e-versions of things and make their files available online and taking notes online and emailing schedules and things.
We would like to get to the point where we have our chamber meetings on PowerPoints. And that way we have gone away from even making 12 to 15 copies of our overall monthly meeting. I think that'll help. If I multiply 5 sheets of paper times 15 people, it adds up.
It
and then,
does.
you know, you print something wrong on a piece of paper, you start over.
again.
So, but again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today and
you for
taking your
having
time out
me.
of your busy schedule. And we appreciate you and everything you do. So
Thank you.
Thank
We
you again,
appreciate
Ashley.
you guys.
Thank you for joining us on the Bowie Business Journal. We'll see you next time.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Another one, Stace.